I did a video not long ago on customer services, and as I was thinking about it, like I'm literally on the bus now because I'm waiting for my MOT to be done and full valet on my car. To be truthful, I ain't really in the best of moods, the best of spirits, but at the same time I ain't gonna let that get to me. I had some really bad experience with customer services. At the start, when I got into WJ King, the first guy who I brought my car into, actually, you know what, let me scrap it. When I actually went in there, I didn't make this a long video, when I first went in there, I drove in, I'm happy in it and everything, and I was thinking, where do I park? So I parked where I usually park my car. From the last time I brought my car in to get the coolant change flushed out because it looked like coffee. It wasn't the colour they claimed it should be. So I parked my car exactly the same place when I got in today, and I got told no, I need to move my car. So I was like, okay. So the guy told me basically he's a WJ King representative salesman. He told me to move my car, but he weren't specific on where to move my car. So I moved my car over and I parked it near the bins next to another car that was parked near the bins. And then I got told again, another guy in the car come over and put his window down and said to me, oh no, you can't park there. I said, but I've just been told by one of your colleagues that I can park, to park here, but he wasn't specific on where to park. So as I was actually I was like, okay, so what should I do? I was like, yeah, good morning, and that, what would you like me to do? I said, oh, you need to park over there because you're blocking the actual service area for people, for the mechanics to bring the cars in and out to get service. So I was like, okay. So then, where do you expect me to park? Oh, here. And I said here. And I looked over to my left of me and I see like a disabled bay. I said, are you sure I should park in a disabled bay? Because I'm definitely, like, I'm not looking to get no ticket. And he laughed and told me, no, you certainly won't get a ticket. So I said, okay then. Well, the other guy didn't give me clear instructions on where to actually park. So I said, okay, cool. So I parked my car now, and that bit of customer service from him was cool. He was more specific, and you see the difference in this. He told me specifically where to park because I'm just assuming it was okay. And remember in my last video, if you've watched it, and I always do say, and I make sure that I make a habit of it, assuming is a bad habit. So now I'm there, and I've parked my car, I've gone in, and I spoke to the gentleman, and I said good morning all to everyone as I've walked in, because this is just how friendly I am. Only one person observed me. Another guy that I've had issues with before, where his customer service is like not second to none, it's second of none. He has no customer services skills. But then when I looked and that, he treats everyone else different. And I don't know if it's because of my appearance, my skin, as people would like to say, and then people will say, oh, maybe he's racist, as my aunt would say, he's ill. He's ill. He's got sickness, like he's got a problem like mentally in his brain. And racism don't really exist. But anyway, I ain't gonna go into that one. But basically, so I spoke to the gentleman. I said, oh yeah, I put my car in for MOT, and I was cold. And he was like, yeah. I said, oh, you sound familiar. And I was like, oh, where? I've been told by this other gentleman, Peter, who was in the sales team of Peugeot, the manager, that I'll get a full valet because of the customer services I received was really rubbish, and it was just them apologising for how they gave me my car, that it never had a full detail on valet when I purchased my car before. So as I'm there now and I get my car, I'm giving him my car key. I was like, oh yeah, so I did speak to you, didn't I? And he said, yeah, you spoke to me, I remember you. I booked it in with you I confirmed it with you on the weekend. I'm like, okay, cool. I said to him basically that, what does the valet include? He told me full cleaning and out and no wax. I was like, so not no wax, but it's not going to be like a basic service wash, because the last time I got my car service washed, it was not great at all. I could have done a better job with spit and a cloth. But anyway, getting on with it. So he basically said to me, you know what, at the end of the day, he said to me, yeah, it'll be fine, it'll be about 3 hours, I'm not going to put your car in for a valet and then at MLT. And I'm thinking to myself, like, what idiot is literally, like, I don't mean to say it like this, but which one of you actually drive, and what would you do first? Would you do an MOT or would you do a valet first? Now, for me personally speaking, I never once said that I wanted the valet first and then an MOT. How does that make sense? Because then people then grab you with their mechanics and that, like the oil and all of that, and they're going to be sitting around with their dusty shoes in my car, making a mess. Like, what exactly do you expect? Do you know, like, what do you expect? Adi, what do you think? No, you don't want a video response back? Ade, you, Sherry and Dawn and Joe, thank you for all watching. Thank you for listening. I'm just basically talking about my customer services experience, that isn't really great WJ King Sid Cup. And so basically, I've given my car key, and he said, okay, that's fine and everything. I'm like, cool. So anyway, now, so this is, well, I've literally left my car there, and then I was like, oh, you know what? I better just make sure this goes according to plan, because the last time I was here, it didn't go according to plan. I got my car to get, like I said at the start, for the coolant to be flushed out, and a full valet. But there was a misunderstanding and assumption, and basically they just gave me a basic service wash, which was just a waste of time. So I made sure that I go over to the sales team part, and just filming a few of the cars. I'm looking at the new 308 and the 3008 SUV, thinking maybe that might be the next car I get, even though in my mind I keep telling myself that the next car that I get will be a Tesla, definitely a Tesla, or something along the lines of that, like the Tesla SUV, which I'm going to be looking at in the next few days. I'll definitely film it or blog it anyway. So as I was waiting on that, I was just looking, and then if you're not sure about Teslas, it's fully electric car, fully powerful motor machine, and it's a really beautiful work of art. Like, and it goes from the price tag is at 50,000, 70,000 up. Obviously I want fully loaded and all that, and who wouldn't? I want the best, at the end of the day, why shouldn't I? So, quite long story short, I went in, spoke to Peter Rashbury at the sales team, and he was cool, shook his hand and explained to him everything, and he was like, yeah, full valet, yeah, make sure, I'm going to tell Steve. So I said, okay, can I see the 308, my spec, the 2017 plate? And he's like, yeah, okay, then Steve will be able to show you. So I go over to Steve says 5 minutes to me. And then as I'm there, Peter Raspberry now walks over along as well and says, oh, can you make sure that Mr. Jules' car has a full valet and everything's all done and it's all booked in and everything goes according to plan? So I'm like, okay, that's some really good customer service considering how it's been before. So now Steve says to me, I say, hello Steve, he said, how are you, mate? I'm like, alright. I shake his hand. He looks a bit reluctant to shake my hand. I don't know if it's because my parents are wearing a hoodie and not a shirt and a tie, like sometimes what I'm wearing, most of the time when I've just come to the office. So he basically says to me, oh, I'll be with you in 5 minutes. So I go, okay, cool. This is going good, So I'm watching him now. He goes back on the phone, and I can see someone else who looks like a customer waiting to be served. And I'm like, there's no way he's going to forget about me. So I see him now, and I've gone outside just for the 308, just a bit more closer. And as I'm looking at it, I see him come round, and he goes past the side and comes out the right of this entrance and walks along past the other cars, and he's with a customer, and he's telling the car to back out into the main road, because literally WJ King is on main road. No pun intended. And he's reversing the car. The gentleman, old man's reversing his car out and saving his time. And then eventually, Steve observes me and says, oh, how are you, mate? How's things? And I say, yeah, everything's fine. And I thought, let me not actually mention to him that I actually want to see the car. Let's see if he's giving me a suggestion, or mention anything, or say anything if I want to test drive the car, the 308 Allure 17 plate. So as I'm looking at him now, oh, it's good to see you, So your car's in for a clean and that. And I said, yeah, so that's all booked in. Now I'm thinking to myself, I clearly said full valet. That's what I'm supposed to be getting, the full valet, free of charge, on the house clean. And then basically he looks and he says, oh, alright then Mr. Jules, we'll see you later. What time are you supposed to be back? And I said 2. Alright then, bye then. He just said bye. So I asked to see the 308, and his manager told him to show me 308 Allure, give me a full show around and talk about what's new about it. No, lost the customer there, because at the same time I've had a bad experience with him before. He's complaining now, telling me now he's literally just flogged me off. Like, I know, no way, for real. So give a call to my missus, talk to her, explain the situation and that, and then I'll get back to it. I'll speak to somebody else. I see someone else is on the show on the sales floor outside. So as I'm talking to him, I'm explaining to him what happened. He said, oh, just go inside and don't I'm part of Kia. If they're not helping you out, I'll be happy to help you out. We'll give you a good deal. And I was like, right, this guy knows his thing. He knows how to make a sell. So I'm like, okay. So you're telling me to basically go back in, even though I just explained to you my circumstances. And I said to him, look, Steve is obviously he must have a bad memory. I don't know what's going on with his memory, because he's clearly forgot that his managers told him to show me the 308 Allure 17 plate. So I'm like, because I want to know if the reverse camera on it, it's actually got if it's colour, and I wanted to see the spec, and even if the test driver, to see if there's any difference in it apart from the actual spec. So as I'm there now, I'm looking at, I'm thinking to myself, okay, alright, I'm gonna go back in. So this other guy that I was with now, this young guy, he basically says, alright, come in with me, I want to see what I could do for you, baby. So he speaks to them and they're all busy, but one of the guys actually decides, alright, then what I'm gonna do, he doesn't even say alright then what I'm gonna do. He says, I'm busy right now, man, I'm doing this, I've got paperwork, I've got people on the phone. And I'm like, is this how they sell cars? Like, really, is this how they sell cars? Because this is the same experience I'm looking for. So now he basically goes over and speaks to him again, and he goes, okay, then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna open up the car for you. So like, he didn't even say it to me like I was even there. So he opened up the car, so I went over to have a look at the car. I have to say, the 308 Allure specs nice, man. It's got a sunroof, a Skyline sunroof. Like, the sunroof is literally from the windscreen to the rear screen. It's proper sick. It's nice. It's proper nice, man. In the summertime, it's gotta be crazy. Like, the view that you get. I don't know about the safety of the car because it's just a lot of glass and hardly any actual metal, But I don't know if any of you have actually seen the 308. The new one, the 17 plate. It's actually really nice. The sunroof's nice, but I'm not sure if it actually opens up, or it's just for the actual viewing pleasure. But it's pretty nice still, and if it's the specs alright, I may just consider upgrading to that and keeping that as like a second little play around car, because it's got a nice little engine. If the GTI version has it, then that's all good. But then I was like, now bear in mind the fact that the guy's opened the car up for me. He's not come out to show me the car. So like, I'm literally looking at the car, and as I'm looking at the car, it's got economy mode on it, and like literally it's fixed in, so your battery is hard. Some of the cars are a bit electric, like the handbrake's electric. So as I'm getting into the car now, I'm thinking to myself, this isn't really the experience I wanted. Like, at least if you showed me the experience of Persia, the car, and Persia, and what Persia represents, the engine, what material I can get, if it's 50-50, cloth or leather or suede, for example. But at the same time, he's there telling me he's not there. But in my mind, I'm like, he could have been telling me so much more and make me actually want to buy the car. So, cut a long story short, like I said in the thing, like your circumstances and what you've done and what you think and say is where you are today. Like, literally it is. Like, you are your worst nightmare if you allow yourself to be. What you create in the mind becomes a reality. What you think about, what you say, and how you treat people does affect you in some way or the other. You may not think it's going to affect you, but it will affect you. And it may not. And then you may look at other people and think, well, it's not affecting them. It's not really having any effect on them. But you'd be surprised, because certain people, what you may think is a happy life, it's not a happy life for that person. And you may think, oh, they've got success, they're successful, they've got a business, but you don't know behind the scenes if their relationship is okay. You don't know if they're having problems with their business. You don't know what they're going through. You do not know what they're going through. So never judge a book by its cover, because there's so much more pages to that person. And that's what I wanted to basically address. Like, right now I'm on the bus, and I'm just being on the bus. It's like, I could have had any other option if I had thought about it. Really, I could have decided to get a rental. I could have got a cab. Because it's not always about driving. It's tiring at times. It's mentally and physically draining. But I decided to get on the bus. I got on the bus, and the bus driver, despite it's not waste the car, I ain't been on the bus for like over a year or so. And I said, and then the bus driver told me, oh, it's not working. But I've got my headphones on and I'm about to do a Facebook Live. So as I'm looking at him, it's like, it's not working. So what does that mean to me? Does that mean I'm not allowed on well, how do I pay? And he's like, oh, are you serious? And I said, yeah, I haven't been on the bus for like a year or like a year or 2 or 3 years now. And he's like, oh. And I said, oh, thank you. So you're saying I can get on the bus for free? It's like, yeah, you can get on the bus for free. And I said, oh, thank you. He said, oh, I've never had anyone say thank you to me. That's new. I said, oh, but I understand what you go through as a bus driver. I know that you go through a lot of things if people abuse you and that. And there's nothing wrong with actually saying thank you. At the end of the day, the bus driver is driving me, keeping me safe, keeping me from in shelter, and safely taking me from A to B. Some bus drivers kind of go forget the route in my previous experience. But do you get where I'm coming from? At the end of the day, how you treat people will come back and bite you in the arse. Like, literally will affect you in some way or the other. whether you're a successful comedian, a mechanic, you know, whether you're a hairdresser. And now I've literally gone like to get my hair cut and stuff, and I've got some really good haircuts, and sometimes I've got some really bad haircuts, but all I can blame is myself, because what you put out there, you get back. And if you put out pure negativity, you're going to get back pure negative vibes right back at you. You know, to the end of the day, you've got to treat people how you would like to be treated. You know, and you've got to remember, everyone is going through their own journey and struggle, and each person is special. Each person is unique, each person in their own right is the number one person in this world. And you should treat each and every person that you come into contact with exactly the same way. You shouldn't treat them any different from anyone else just because of their skin colour, what they look like, what they smell like. You know, I spoke to a homeless man yesterday, and I saw him, he asked me for some change. I just got back from work. I literally went over to KFC to get some chicken or whatever. I wasn't really feeling it, but you know, I got some of that, because sometimes you don't want to be cooking, you know, you want it easy to me. And I saw this homeless man, and he was there with his dog, and to be honest with you, I didn't even want to park near him. But for some reason, as I was parking, I realised, I don't know if he moved or what, but he moved like 1-2 bays near to where I was parking my car. And as I got out of the car, I looked at him, but I didn't assume anything, I didn't think anything of him, I just didn't really, for whatever reason, it's just not intentional. I saw him, and he asked me immediately, have you got any spare change? Now I said to him, I don't actually have any spare change, you know? And he looked at me, and he wasn't rude to me in any kind of way, but in my mind automatically I knew a figure came in my head, and I was like, oh, I'm going to definitely give him something. So I went into KFC, quite a long story short, customer services there was pure rubbish. When I asked for what I asked for, like, so basically this is what my order was this. Who likes KFC? Who actually thinks the customer service is great? Like, leave a comment. On anything that I've said in this video, like and leave a comment. You are entitled to like and leave a comment. Anyway, so the lady is there. She's actually been working from early morning, and she didn't actually want to be there. So I asked her, this is my order. I asked her a single tower burger. I called my missus to find out if she wanted anything. And I asked for a single tower burger, box meal. And then I asked for 10 hot wings, because the hot wings are off the hook if you get them correct and they're fresh, straight out, rather than sitting there dry and not juicy, just pure nastiness. That. And they still set it on. Someone will buy it and not even make a complaint, but I like the best, and I don't expect anyone else to have anything less. But at the same time, as I was asking for my order, she said, oh no, you don't want a box meal, because I said I didn't want to drink, because the drink's a load of rubbish. It's just like, it's pure, it doesn't, it's just syrup and fizz, it doesn't taste really nice, I'm not really feeling it. We don't like it, we prefer to get large fries. So I said, can I have large fries, box meal? Oh no, you don't want a box meal. You just want a fillet burger and chips. Now for them, they always want to make sure that they're giving you a cheap meal, and they assume that everyone wants a cheap meal. I want the best meal. I want a nice meal. I want to make sure that my belly is full. You get me? But at the end of the day, as I was I made my order, she decided to change my order, and I wasn't in the mood to like even challenge it or say anything about it. I just listened to what she had to say. I'm tired. I just said, you know what? Whatever. I said, that's fine. And then I waited a little while, got my meal, I looked at the burger, and she did say at the time when she was doing the order, oh, do you want extra salsa sauce or supercharger sauce? Now for me, I don't actually know what the single tower sauce is and what it consists of. And you there working there in KFC should definitely know what you're dealing with. You should know what you are serving. Customer services, you should know, like, you're working somewhere and you don't actually know what the burgers consist of. You don't know what sauce is in there. You don't know whether it's a salsa or it's a supercharger sauce. You should automatically know. I've told her I wanted spicy mayo, but she then says salsa. Now, salsa and spicy mayo don't sound the same to me. Now, I'm being as polite as possible. I'm like, okay, she doesn't look happy. She doesn't look like she wants to be here. God knows what they're doing to my food, if they're spitting in it. I just don't know what they're doing. But anyway, so the food comes along. I check my order and that, because I ain't looking to drive back. So as I'm looking at my order, I'm like, there's extra salsa sauce. Now, I didn't ask for that. So I asked, can I add supercharger sauce? Now, she wasn't able to help me. So then she went and spoke to some other lady, who then I explained to her what I wanted. She done everything was fine. The chips were hot, the hot wings were hot. So I was like, good to go. So as I went outside and I spoke to this gentleman, some people call him hobo, tramp, back in the day, all kinds of horrible names, and even now, a lot of people are giving back to people that's outside of the country that suffered from hurricanes and so forth. And fair enough, but charity does start from home. So like for me personally, I just ask them, like never assume, never assume, because you see me and you see us and you're assuming that we're not going to help you or that I will not do anything for you. When you ask me, this is what I said to the homeless man, I said, when you ask me, or the gentleman, I'm not even saying the homeless man, the gentleman that happens to be living on the street because of his circumstances. So I said, when you asked me whether I had change, I literally did not have any change at the time. So he smiled at me as I gave him a little something. I ain't going to say how much because that's not what this video is about, but I gave him a little something, more than he probably expected. And that's just my nature. So basically, and I've always been like that, and I don't intend to change for no one, no matter how much money I come into, or have. But the point is, I gave him the money, and I said to him, don't ever assume anything. And I said, what is your circumstances? Why are you here? And he said to me, my landlord kicked me out, and I wasn't able to get in a house, and I didn't really ask too much detail. And I said to him, look, you may think your circumstances are really bad, but I've been there. I've been homeless. 2013 I was homeless, and literally until I actually have a home of my own, that's my home, I still consider myself homeless until that home is mine and I have a mortgage or I bought the house cash. Now, he looked at me and he came up closer with his dog, and I said to him, oh, what's your name? He told me his name's Lee. I said, okay, Lee, my name's Andrew, I'm a motivational speaker and a personal development coach. But before I even said that, pausing that, I said to him, this is what I said to him. I said to him, you may believe that your circumstances are really bad, but your perception is all in the mind. Your mindset is what's got you here, and everything that you've done has led you here. But what I will say to you is that you're actually in a better circumstances. Now, what you see I've got here, you see it as a certain thing. You see me in my car, nice car, and automatically it assumes that. And I said to him, the car's on finance, and I explained to him my circumstances without going into so much debt. And I said to him, look, you may not realise, but actually you're in a better circumstances than any of us who actually has a roof over their head. The only difference from me and you is that I have a roof over my head and you don't have a roof over your head. But one thing that you do have, you was born with. You have everything you need in life. You was born with. You have everything you need in life. You was born with it. So don't ever get it twisted or confused to think that you don't have anything. Just because you're on the street don't mean you should think any less of yourself. You can achieve so much if you put your mind to it. And I said to him, look, and that's when I dropped into him, and I said to him, look, I'm a motivational speaker and a personal development worker and personal development coach. I'm telling you this, I'm literally want you to know that most people are illiterate but are millionaires and don't even know maths and English, but yet they're running multi-billion-dollar companies in industry, And I want you to know that you can be anything you want to be if you set your mind to it. Don't let this be you. Don't allow this to be you. Don't let you being on the street. Don't let that be you. Don't let that consume you and make you feel that you are nothing compared to anyone else. Because all the difference is that you do not have a roof over your head. In fact, you're in a better circumstances than a lot of people because you don't have any physical restraints that's holding you back from doing what you need to do. You literally can move anywhere you want to go. And I said to him, continue to make a habit out of your great habits and knock out your bad habits one by one. Stay positive, productive, and patient, and believe vision, achieving God, and make a habit. And he shook my hand and he said, thank you. And he said, no one's ever told him and ever made him realize and see what I said to him. He's never really given a thought and actually seen it in that kind of a way. And he went away smiling. Whether he was happy or not, he was being fake, only he knows. But at the end of the day, we can do so much more for each other. Like when you're walking past someone, don't just look at them and walk past. Don't just look at them and walk past, And like I said, to continue to make a habit of your great habits and knock out your bad habits one by one. Stay positive, productive, and patient, and believe vision, achieving God. Make a habit. Share the video, like, comment.